Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome to the video. I hope your day's going great. Mine's been really good so far, and today we have a juicy video. So we're starting off with Runaway. There are some crazy rumors I am being told. Now, I just want to make it very clear that these are rumors. I am not confirming that this is 100% happening. I honestly don't know if I can 100% trust where this information is coming from. It is somewhat reliable, but in no way, shape, or form am I going to say this is 100% what is happening. So again, I just wanted to make myself clear there. This isn't 100%, guys. What I'm hearing out of Runaway in Vancouver is that this deal is potentially falling through, and Vancouver has started to reach out to some players who are worthy to try out for their Overwatch League team, because again, the Runaway deal seems to be potentially falling through. It is a massive rumor, guys, and I can say this, I've had multiple players within the community who are really good and potentially Overwatch League level message me and say, hey man, I don't know what's really going on with Vancouver and Runaway, because it seems like Vancouver is reaching out to a lot of players about trying out for their team, and it could potentially be falling through. Now, of course, this could be a setup. These players could be messaging me, trying to give me bad info, trying to bait me into posting it officially on Twitter or YouTube and saying that it's 100% happening. But I think they would know that I am smart enough not to just go out and say it's confirmed 100% happening, because I haven't been wrong about anything yet. So there's definitely a possibility that this information is correct, but I'm not going to take it for that. The people that have messaged me have never leaked anything to me before, so I can't confirm whether or not they are trustable. They're just high-level players who would definitely be in talks with teams about trying out. But again, it is a rumor. I do not fully 100% trust that. I just need to say it one more time, guys. So now that that is completely cleared up and you guys understand that it is a rumor, I am going to talk more in depth about this situation at the beginning of the... So now that I've cleared that up and you guys understand it is a rumor, we're going to talk more in depth about this situation at the beginning of the video. Then in the second part of the video, we are going to be talking about Washington, D.C. They have signed Addo to their roster, and they are more than likely going to sign Guido, formerly of the Seoul Dynasty. It's at the very end of the signing process. I doubt this one will fall through, so we will more than likely be seeing Guido join the roster. I'm not going to officially tweet this one out yet, but I am willing to say that Addo is on the roster. So if you guys are excited to watch this video, be sure go down below, drop a like on it, and if you do enjoy my content and you haven't already subscribed to my channel, what are you doing, man? Click that red subscription box, join the family, watch daily Overwatch League content, and never miss any news. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the video and start off with Runaway. So as most of you guys know, about 2 weeks ago, I reported, and many other leakers also reported, that Runaway had reached a verbal agreement with the Vancouver Overwatch League team. And for the most part, ever since then, most people have assumed, alright, they're going to finalize this deal, Vancouver will pick up the full roster of Runaway. And I've been one of those people. It made complete sense that Runaway would want to sign with Vancouver, because right now it seems to be the only team open with full slots for all 8 of their players, and also for Vancouver, it would make sense because, well, it's Runaway. They're the best team outside of the Overwatch League, and many would say if they were in the Overwatch League, they could have been one of the best in Season 1. So it all honestly just makes sense and was falling together, and well, until today, I thought that's what was going to happen. But I am hearing rumors of players currently doing trials saying that Vancouver is now reaching out to them, and they just don't know what they're doing. They don't know what their plan is. Now, again, this is just rumors, and I can't confirm whether or not it is true, but I have heard it from a couple players who, in my eyes, definitely seem Overwatch League worthy. And I'm sorry for repeating myself, but in these situations, I just have to make it very clear what type of information this is, because with the power I have, people will take my words out of context and say that I'm saying this is 100% going to happen. I'm not saying that, but I promise I won't mention that anymore, guys. Let's move on. But there definitely is a potential for it being true, because why has this deal not been official yet? Because I keep asking my sources, is there any update on the Runaway in Vancouver situation? And every time I ask, the response is no, nothing further has happened yet. The deal seems to be close, but it is not pen to paper. It is still just a verbal agreement, and we are waiting for more information. So at this point, it seems like these rumors I'm hearing from these players is possible. And if they are true, this could be a tragedy, not only for the Vancouver team, but also for the Runaway players. The reason why it's bad for Vancouver is they literally have no way to build a roster as good as potentially having the full Runaway roster. It's just not possible because a lot of really good players have been picked up already, and the ones that haven't, they're going to be offered mega contracts by Season 1 teams. So Vancouver, they need to get Runaway if they want to be one of the best teams. And for the Runaway team, this is really bad, especially if they want to try to stick together. Most of the other expansion teams have already signed players, and I don't know if they would want to pick up a full roster at this point, or if they even have space. Because honestly, if we look at most of the expansion teams right now, they've already filled up most of their roster. Let's just go over Atlanta real quick. They have DeFran, Erster, Nalir, that's 3 DPS players. There's not going to be any room for the Runaway roster. They'll have 5 DPS players if they bring in Stitch and Haxel, and then they already have an off tank, they have a main tank, the roster's up to 8 players. Atlanta just isn't an option. Okay, let's look at Paris. They have Soon, Shadowburn, Danye, that's 3 DPS players again for them, so Haxel, Stitch, no room for them. Paris also has 2 off tanks and 2 main tanks. It's literally just impossible. 9 players on the roster. So then you might say, okay, well, there's got to be some room on some of the Chinese expansion teams, right? Not really, man. Let's look at the Hangzhou roster, which I leaked probably 3 weeks ago. It's going to be a mixture of X6 Gaming's players. There's Godsby, No Smite, Bebe, Rhea. That's 4 alone there. And then they picked up 3 players from 7. That puts them at 7 players. And then they also picked up Guju from LGD Gaming. And then also IDK. They're at 9 players already. That is Atlanta, Hangzhou, and Paris, all 3 who just have absolutely no room for even some of the players from Runaway. So these literally just are not options. That's 3 out of the 8 expansion teams gone. All right, let's look at the Guangzhou team. Maybe there's some room there. Not really, because they just picked up 4 players from Metagaming, Chara, Happy Rio, and Wanja Lee. And then there's also been reports coming out from Halo of Thoughts saying that Guangzhou's picked up other players too, so they're at a total of like 6. No room there. DC, no room there. They've picked up Corey, Fozix, Hainu, Janice, now Addo, and Guido. They're already up to like 7 players. So now that's 4 teams. That's half of the expansion teams that have absolutely no room, no way possible to pick up the entire Runaway roster. Wait, no, what am I saying? That's 5 teams total who don't have space for the full roster of Runaway. We have Atlanta, DC, Parrish, Hangzhou, and Guangzhou who all have 7 or more players. They couldn't even pick up the starting 6 of Runaway. So I can literally confirm these 5 teams don't have room for Runaway. Then moving on to the other 3, we have Chengdu, Toronto, and Vancouver. We'll start off with Chengdu, which I don't know too much information about. Honestly, I haven't asked, but Halo of Thoughts, who is a somewhat trustworthy leaker, he's gotten a decent amount of stuff right, has leaked that this team is going to be a big mixture of Chinese and Taiwanese players. And a lot of these players joining this team are going to be from that Miraculous Youngsters roster prior to the Overwatch League Season 1 that so many wanted to see in Overwatch League for the Shanghai Dragons. So I'm happy to see those guys get picked up if this is true. And again, if it is true, then that means 6 of the Overwatch League expansion teams right now will not have space for Runaway. That leaves us 2, Toronto and Vancouver. For Vancouver, well, we already talked about them. It seems to be potentially falling through, and that's why we're talking about these other teams, seeing where there's room for these players. Toronto, they've been very quiet. It's been hard to get information about them. I have heard that they did sign Envy. I can confirm that 100%. So then that would literally just leave Toronto as a potential target for the full roster of Runaway. And it's very likely that Runaway could end up on Toronto because I did hear information from my trusted sources, one of the very first leaks that I got, that Toronto picked up Bishop in order to bring them a winning Korean team and help build a successful roster. Well, what better than Runaway? So if this deal with Vancouver falls through, Toronto could potentially be the ones to pick up the entire roster. If they don't, then honestly, I don't see Runaway getting picked up as a full team. There's just no space anywhere unless a Season 1 team can miraculously free up 8 slots or 6 slots and sign them all, but most Overwatch League teams already have more than 6 players and won't even have enough money to afford the entire roster. So I have no idea what Runaway would do if this rumor is true. They could be in a huge pickle here. I'd hope that Toronto hasn't signed a bunch of players and my sources are just lacking on that team, so there's enough room for them to sign there, because that would be great. I would love if Toronto got them, and I would love if Vancouver got them, which Vancouver should get them. The 2 parties literally made made a verbal agreement like 3 weeks ago. Runaway agreed to sign with Vancouver, and Vancouver agreed to sign Runaway. Why has it not happened yet? Like, are they asking for too much money, or is Vancouver not giving enough money, or are there players on the Runaway roster who are now second guessing it and saying, hey, well, Seoul Dynasty's offering me like 280K. Why would I just stick with my team? I can go join these guys and make bank and potentially be on a really good roster for season 2. That could be happening. Anything could be happening. I have no idea. These rumors are too much. I don't know. My mind is going crazy. I can't stop talking about it. All we can do at this point is just sit around and wait. I'm going to ask my sources about it, try to confirm more information. And as soon as I learn that information, obviously I'm going to tell you guys. So if you want to know when that information comes, you got to subscribe, turn post notifications on. And now let's move on and talk about Washington, D.C. and their new pickups. First, we have Ado, who competed for Shanghai Dragons under Season 1, and I think almost every single human being who followed the Overwatch League felt bad for Ado in Season 1. I mean, literally, he was on the worst team possible, but still a very competent and solid DPS player. He definitely proved his worth in Season 1 under Shanghai, and that is the reason he got plenty of trials and even plenty of offers going into Season 2, and he has decided to take his talents over to Washington, D.C., playing under Wizard Young and alongside Janice. I think this is a great pickup for DC. Literally, Ado is an incredible flex, and I feel like this guy is like the next superstar in the Overwatch League. He really reminds me of Prophet. I don't know exactly why. Maybe it's just because he's pretty good at Tracer and Genji, and that's rare to find. But I feel like he could be a superstar, and this was a great pickup. Now, moving on to the second guy. Again, this isn't 100%, but it is in really final stages of being official. I think they're just waiting for the approval of Blizzard, but it seems like Guido, who played under Seoul Dynasty in Season 1, is signing under Washington, D.C., and it is going to be as a flex support. He will not be returning to DPS. He's going to stay on that mainly Zenyatta role, which is really interesting because I always thought Guido was going to go back to playing DPS. It was weird for me that Guido was playing flex support for Seoul Dynasty because for those of you who don't know, prior to Overwatch League Season 1, he played on Lunatic High with Ryu Jahong, Miro, all those great players, and they won Season 3 of Apex with him. He played DPS and he really filled that void of carry DPS role after Lunatic High benched Who Are You. Many people thought it was crazy to bench Who Are You, who just carried them to a championship in Season 2, but in Season 3, again, Guido carried very hard on DPS. His Tracer was incredible. So going into the Overwatch League, I expected him to play Tracer and DPS mainly. For some reason, they swapped him over to flex support and he was relieving Ryu Jahong in some games. I don't know why, but it seems like Guido is going to continue to play that role. He was trialing for many teams as a flex support. He decided he doesn't want to be a DPS, and now he is signed to Washington, D.C. Could be a really good pickup. We're just going to have to see Guido perform more on that flex support, and that's really going to be it for the video, guys. Let me know down in the comments what you think about it. Do you think Runaway is going to sign with Vancouver? Do you think Vancouver maybe messed something up? As for Washington, D.C., do you like Ado and Guido joining this roster? Be sure to leave a comment down below. And also, real quick, I do want to let you guys know, some of you might already know, but I am going to be head coaching a Contenders Trials team, and that team is Phase 2. So I've been coaching them for about a week now throughout all of Trials, and we're sitting at 3-0. All we have to do is win one more game, and we will be moving on to Season 3 Contenders North America. I am going to give you guys more information about this team, who the players are, why I decided to do this and pursue coaching. I'll probably make a video on it tomorrow. I wanted to get this video out because of the Runaway information. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. If you do enjoy my content, be sure subscribe to my channel, drop a like down below, and that's going to be it for me. Peace.